There comes a moment, silent, invisible, when life holds out its hand and asks you, are you ready to move? Not tomorrow, not when the stars align, not when you feel prepared, but now. And in that moment, most hesitate, most wait, most whisper excuses to themselves as the tide rolls back out, carrying away the opportunity they were too timid to seize. Understand this. The future does not belong to the hesitant. It belongs to the relentless. It belongs to those who push themselves beyond the limits of comfort, beyond the false safety of planning and dreaming and wishing. It belongs to those who, when the voice inside says, not yet, roar back, now. Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times before he harnessed the filament's glow. Abraham Lincoln lost elections, suffered heartbreak, and battled depression before stepping into greatness. Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination by the very employers who later envied the worlds he built. What separated them from the forgotten masses was not talent alone, it was action, relentless, unyielding action. They moved when others froze. They built when others doubted. They leapt when others stood still. And so must you, because life doesn't reward the thinker, the dreamer, the planner. It rewards the mover, the doer, the builder. It rewards the one who stands knee-deep in chaos, hands trembling, heart pounding, and still lifts the hammer against the odds. There is a truth most will never understand. Waiting for the perfect time is the perfect way to guarantee failure. You will never feel ready enough. You will never have all the information. You will never silence every doubt. And if you let that reality paralyze you, you will watch your destiny slip away, moment by moment, excuse by excuse. Henry Ford didn't wait for the perfect engine before he started production. He started with what he had, improved as he went, and outpaced every competitor still caught in their planning phases. Your dreams are living things. They need action like lungs need air. Without action, they suffocate. They die quietly, becoming the ghosts that haunt your later years, whispering, you could have been more. You have to move. You have to push. You have to become the force that breaks inertia, the fire that burns through fear, the storm that refuses to wait for clear skies. Because the longer you hesitate, the stronger your doubts become. And doubts left unchecked are ruthless architects. They will build walls around your mind until you cannot see the horizon anymore, until your world shrinks to the size of your fears. Relentless action is not reckless action. It is purpose-driven force. It is the unshakable decision that every step you take, no matter how imperfect, is a step toward the life you refuse to surrender. When Andrew Carnegie was a boy, he worked 12-hour shifts in a cotton factory, earning a few dollars a week. But every step he took was deliberate. He saved, he studied, he networked, he acted, even when the path was hidden behind smoke and sweat and long nights. And from those humble beginnings, he built an empire that changed the world. Understand this, no action is wasted when it is aligned with your vision. Even a wrong step forward is better than a lifetime of standing still. You must trust that motion begets clarity, that building begets wisdom, that attempting begets mastery. You cannot think your way into greatness. You must act your way into it. You will not always feel inspired. You will not always feel motivated. The champions of history, the titans you revere, felt the same fatigue, the same boredom, the same creeping doubt you feel. The difference? They acted anyway. They pushed through the fog. They ran while others rested. They built while others broke down, because they understood a truth that the average never learn. Action is the cure to fear. When your hands move, your doubts quiet down. When your feet advance, your fears lose their grip. When you push forward, even when every cell in your body screams to turn back, you become something rare. You become unstoppable. Imagine standing at the base of a mountain. The summit is shrouded in mist. You cannot see the peak. You cannot predict every challenge. You cannot map every storm that will rage against you. But you take the first step anyway, and then the next, and then the next. And as you move, the path reveals itself. As you climb, the summit clears. You will stumble, you will fall, you will bleed, but every scar will become a badge. Every lesson will become a weapon. And when you finally stand at the top, bruised, battered, victorious, you will understand something that cannot be taught in books or speeches. You are not the same person who started. You have been forged, tempered, transformed by the fire of action. You have become your own creation, not a replica of someone else's success story, but a living, breathing testament to willpower made real. Because when you push yourself into relentless action, you do more than change your circumstances. You reshape yourself. Action is not just what you do. It is who you become. Every choice to move forward, even when afraid, chisels a new facet into your character. Every decision to rise after a fall sculpts resilience into your bones. Every hour spent sweating for your dream etches pride into your soul. You do not inherit greatness. You carve it, inch by inch, from the stone of resistance. Look at every empire, every revolution, every masterpiece. Behind it stands a single individual who decided they would no longer wait, who decided they would be the spark, the hammer, the builder, the dreamer in motion. And now it's your turn. It does not matter how small you start. It does not matter how many times you fall. It does not matter who doubts you, who mocks you, who counts you out. Because once you commit to relentless action, you align yourself with a power that does not negotiate with failure. A power that says, fall 7 times, rise 8. A power that understands that success is not an event. It is a relentless accumulation of moments, of efforts, of steps. You build your future not in sudden leaps, but in the gritty, grinding repetition of pushing yourself forward, one decision at a time. Mindset is your foundation. Without it, you are a house built on sand. With it, you are a fortress against every storm. You must command your mind daily. Not ask, not plead, command. Command it to rise when it craves comfort. Command it to focus when it flirts with distraction. Command it to believe when the world offers every reason to quit. Your mind is the general leading your army of actions. If the general is weak, the battle is lost before it even begins. If the general is strong, no army of obstacles can withstand you. Understand, belief is the fuel of relentless action. Napoleon Hill wrote it over and over again. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But belief is not passive. It is not whispering affirmations into the void while life slips by. Belief must be active, aggressive, alive. It must course through your veins like wildfire, burning away the doubts of the world. When Andrew Carnegie looked at the steel industry, he didn't see limits, he saw opportunity. When Henry Ford looked at the world of transportation, he didn't see obstacles, and he saw innovation. They didn't just wish, they didn't just hope. They believed so fiercely that their belief itself became contagious, pulling reality into alignment with their vision. You must do the same. You must wake each day, armor yourself in belief, and march into battle with the full knowledge that you are destined to prevail, not by chance, not by privilege, but by the unyielding force of your own relentless action. But belief alone is not enough. Vision is your compass. Without a vision, your energy scatters. Without a vision, your fire burns out into smoke. You must see with brutal clarity what you are building. You must know what mountain you are climbing, even if you cannot yet see its summit. Vision is not fantasy. It is structured, detailed, ferociously real in your mind. It is the blueprint you consult when fear whispers its lies. It is the map you follow when doubt clouds your sight. Walt Disney didn't just wish for success. He saw Disneyland when it was still a swamp. He walked the streets of his imagination before a single brick was laid. That is what you must do. You must walk the corridors of your future in your mind so vividly that when you step into them in reality, they feel familiar, inevitable. Vision anchors you. Vision pulls you forward when motivation fades. Vision whispers, remember why you started, when the journey grows heavy. But even vision without discipline crumbles into dust. Discipline is the sword you sharpen daily. It is the silent ally that shows up when the thrill is gone, when the crowds have faded, when no one is watching. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and destiny. It is waking up before the sun because you said you would. It is doing the work, especially when you don't feel like it. It is keeping the promises you make to yourself because the greatest victory is winning the battle within. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you strengthen the muscles of character. Every time you push when you could coast, you lay another stone in the fortress of your future. The disciplined man or woman is invincible, not because they never feel weak, but because they act powerfully in the face of weakness. Remember, the world does not owe you results. It owes you nothing. It is your discipline, your willingness to act day after day without applause, without recognition, without guarantees, that builds a life so unshakable, so undeniable, that the world has no choice but to recognize it. Action without gratitude, though, becomes hollow. You must not only move, you must move with a heart that remembers why you move at all. Gratitude is your fuel when the nights are long and the road is endless. It is the secret reservoir of strength that turns exhaustion into endurance. When you remember that every step you take is a privilege denied to many, your burdens transform into blessings. When you recognize that each obstacle is sharpening you, not stopping you, your frustrations melt into firepower. Gratitude is not passive. It is fierce. It is active. It is a roaring acknowledgement of every opportunity disguised as difficulty. Think of Helen Keller, born deaf and blind, yet she did not curse her fate. She seized life with both hands, learned to speak without sound, to see without sight. And in doing so, she taught the world what it means to truly live. Gratitude sharpened her spirit into an unstoppable force, and it will sharpen yours. When you push yourself into relentless action, carry gratitude like a torch through the darkness. Let it light your way when strength alone is not enough, because a grateful warrior cannot be broken. Every challenge they meet becomes another reason to rise higher, and yet action demands something more: adaptability. The river does not curse the rocks. It moves around them, over them, wears them down over time. You must be like water, fluid, unbreakable, impossible to pin down. The path to greatness is never a straight line. It is a jagged, winding journey through valleys of uncertainty and mountains of unexpected trials. You will plan and life will laugh. You will predict and life will surprise. You will build and storms will tear down what you thought was unshakable. But adaptability ensures you rebuild stronger. When Thomas Edison's laboratory burned to the ground, destroying years of work, he didn't sink into despair. He simply said, "Thank God all our mistakes were burned up. Now we can start again, fresh." And within weeks, he had built something even greater. You must adapt like that. You must flow, pivot, rebuild, adjust, without ever losing the relentless momentum of action, because success belongs not to the one who never falls, but to the one who falls 1,000 times and still refuses to stay down. Resilience is your armor. Life will test you. It will hammer you. It will bend you until you wonder if you can bend any further. But remember, steel is only made strong by fire and pressure. Without challenge, you remain soft. Without resistance, you remain fragile. It is through the storms that you grow roots deep enough to weather anything. Abraham Lincoln lost his mother at 9. He failed in business. He lost multiple elections. He battled profound sadness, and yet he rose again and again until he became a symbol of endurance, leadership, and unbreakable spirit. Resilience is not pretending that pain does not exist. It is refusing to be defeated by it. It is looking heartbreak, failure, rejection in the eye and saying, "You may slow me, but you will not stop me." Every scar you carry becomes a medal. Every failure becomes a foundation stone. Every tear becomes a testament to the fact that you endured. You must love the struggle because it is sculpting you into someone extraordinary. But never stop learning. Relentless action without growth is wasted motion. You must remain a student, forever curious, forever reaching, forever evolving. The moment you believe you know enough is the moment you begin to decay. Andrew Carnegie surrounded himself with thinkers, inventors, and innovators because he understood that one mind, no matter how brilliant, could never grasp the full scope of possibility alone. Walt Disney sought out the most creative animators, engineers, and dreamers, not because he lacked vision, but because he knew that growth accelerates when you learn from others. Every book you read, every mentor you listen to, every experience you reflect upon adds another weapon to your arsenal. You are not just building achievements, you are building yourself, thought by thought, lesson by lesson. Commit to learning as ferociously as you commit to action. Grow sharper, stronger, wiser with every step. Because knowledge married to relentless action creates a force so powerful, so unstoppable, that even mountains must move aside. You must never forget, this is not just about achieving goals. This is about becoming. Each morning you wake up with two choices: return to your old self or forge the new one. Every small decision either tightens the chains of who you were or sharpens the sword of who you are becoming. There is no standing still. You are either rising or falling, building or crumbling, living or dying. Push yourself into relentless action, and you become a force of nature, a fire that refuses to be extinguished, a tide that refuses to be turned back. The world does not shape you. You shape yourself, with your thoughts, with your choices, with your actions. The clock is ticking. Not just the clock on the wall, the clock of your life. Every second you hesitate, a second is lost forever. Every minute you delay, a minute you cannot reclaim. Every day you drift, another piece of your potential crumbles into dust. You do not have time to waste waiting for confidence. You do not have time to waste waiting for guarantees. You do not have time to waste waiting for permission. The only permission you need is the permission you give yourself, to rise, to act, to become. Picture it now, the final days of your life, looking back across the landscape of your existence. Will you see a wasteland of regrets, empty fields where dreams were abandoned, where courage was buried under fear? Or will you see a kingdom, a towering monument to your relentless action, a legacy etched in stone and spirit? It is being decided right now, in this moment, with your next choice. Will you move, or will you wait? Will you act, or will you hesitate? Will you build the life only you can build? Or will you join the forgotten crowd of the almost, the maybes, the could-have-beens? You are standing at the crossroads. One path is easy, smooth, paved with comfort, but it leads to mediocrity, to regret, to the slow death of the spirit. The other path is steep, brutal, unrelenting. It demands everything. It tests everything. But it leads to greatness, not greatness given, not greatness handed down, greatness earned, the kind of greatness that only comes from refusing to break, refusing to back down, refusing to be anything less than everything you are capable of becoming. The legends you admire, Edison, Lincoln, Carnegie, Disney, Ford, they are not distant myths. They are living proof of a single unbreakable law. Relentless action transforms dreams into destiny. Every day they fought, every day they bled, every day they built when no one was watching. And because of that, the world remembers their names. But understand this, the world is waiting for your name too. There are songs that will never be sung if you do not sing them. There are books that will never be written if you do not write them. There are empires that will never be built if you do not build them. You are not just living for yourself. You are carrying the hopes of every ancestor who dreamed you into existence. You are carrying the dreams of every soul who will one day look to you and say, because they moved, I can too. Do not betray that inheritance. Do not squander that sacred fire. Do not let fear be the author of your story. Take the pen, take the hammer, take the wheel. Push yourself into relentless action and do not stop. When the storms come, and they will, lean into them. When the nights stretch long and hopeless, and they will, press forward. When the world mocks and doubts and underestimates you, and it will, smile quietly and keep building. Because each action you take in defiance of fear carves a new horizon. Each step you take in defiance of fatigue expands your world. Each moment you choose to move forward anyway adds another star to the galaxy you are creating with your life. You will not win every battle. You will not always feel powerful. You will fall. You will hurt. You will wonder more times than you can count if it is worth it. But if you keep going, if you keep moving, you will awaken one day in a life so rich, so full, so magnificent, that it will feel like you stepped into a dream you once barely dared to believe possible. And it will not have happened by accident. It will not have happened by luck. It will have happened because you made it happen with your hands, with your heart, with your relentless action. So rise. Push yourself when no one else will. Move forward when no one believes you can. Act when every part of you screams to stay still. There is no secret. There is no shortcut. There is only this: relentless, uncompromising, unstoppable action. You are not waiting for the world to change. You are not waiting for circumstances to improve. You are not waiting for the fear to disappear. You are the one who moves first, and the world, and eventually what must move around you. Be the fire that sets your destiny ablaze. Be the storm that reshapes the mountains in your path. Be the force that refuses to yield. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your life. Push yourself, drive yourself, force yourself into relentless action, and become everything you were born to be. The world is waiting, but you are not waiting anymore.